we have already discussed the transfer function block diagram model and transfer function model. Okay. So now let us revisit this transfer function model. One second. We are having a input. We are having a transfer function block as a GS of a given system, and at the one end we are having a input RS and the output is C. This is the input-output model of your transfer function. And probably this input-output model is completely not defined because we are having two types of input here. One is your set point or reference point, or you can say the control signal, or equivalently you can say the manipulated input to the plant. And second one is your undesirable input, that is your disturbance to the plant. Okay. So if you want to find the response CT of the given system, you need to know about both the inputs, that is your manipulated input and your disturbance input, or in other words you can say you need to model these input. Okay, because the output will be given by both of these inputs, so you need to model this input. Now let us first one is your reference signal or manipulated signal, and second one is your disturbance. Let us first talk about the disturbance. Okay. By the very nature, the disturbance is something which is beyond your control. Okay. If you are going to classify this disturbance, you can say these are two kinds. First one is a fast varying, and second one is your slow varying. These are the fast varying signal of unknown waveform. Basically, this type of signals in literature they say it is noise. It is noise having generally high frequency. Okay. And since these fast varying signals are relatively random in nature, so your deterministic method of analysis and design is not going to work for your fast varying signal. Rather, what the approach we follow in the fast varying signal is nothing but the stochastic approach, or you can say the stochastic model. But fortunately, for most of the control system cases, we not deal with the fast varying disturbances. These fast varying disturbances mostly occur in communication channel. So such type of disturbances are dealt by communication engineers. In our case, second case is that of slow varying disturbances. Here also the exact waveform of your disturbance is not known to you, but you can predict the nature of disturbances. For example, we have taken a case of classroom heating system. If somebody opens the door, you know that the temperature will start to fall in exponential manner. Or you can take the example of electrical load as a disturbance, and you can say at around 7 p.m. disturbance is more, and at around 10 a.m. the disturbance is less. And also we can take the example of various variation in payload pick up by a robotic arm. Okay, so there are various examples we encountered in our control system analysis and design. Those signals, these disturbances are actually not known to you, but the general nature you can predict, and that's why here for the slow varying cases we apply the deterministic method of design and analysis. Deterministic method. Okay. For example, suppose and we are going to model your disturbance. Okay. We have already modeled your transfer function, but since you want to know about the output, so you need to model both the disturbances and your reference signal, because the output is not just the reflection of your system, but the reaction of your you can say the disturbances and your input to the plant will be reflected in the output. So already you have modeled your transfer function, so you need to model this disturbance and you need to model your reference signal. Now we are first started with the disturbance. Okay, suppose a disturbance of short duration, okay, and of limited time, you can model it properly with the help of pulse signal. So this is your disturbance of short duration is a pulse. Similarly, a disturbance which is constant with respect to time, somewhat like electrical load, we can approximate such type of disturbance with a step signal. Also, there may be some disturbances which may constantly increase with time, where the disturbance will drifting with time. We can model such type of differences with a ramp signal. And the disturbance where it is drifting faster than this can approximately model with a parabolic signal. Okay. Faster than this parabolic drifting is also possible, but it is found experimentally that if you are going to analyze only this up to parabolic signal, your system will act satisfactorily with any other drifting also. Okay. So now let us start with this modeling of these particular disturbances. We have represented the classes of disturbances into such mathematical form, and now our aim is to represent in an equation in time domain and equivalently in frequency domain. So you can say if your here I am going to signal or disturbance, I am going to say, and here I am going to say in time domain, and the third block is for Laplace domain. Okay. So first one is a pulse type of disturbance. Okay, one more disturbance is left. A sudden shock of very you can say the t is equal to 0, a very infinitesimal time can be represented by a impulse. Okay. This is your time and this is f. Okay. Now let us start the modeling of this type of disturbances. First one is your pulse. Since the pulse can be created with the help of a step signal, so we are not going to take pulse as a standard signal, rather we will consider the step as one of the standard signals. So let us first start with impulse. So first signal, or you can say the disturbance, is of a step, impulse. So how this mathematically represented? How this step is mathematically represented? It is, I am going to represent as a ft, and more generally they use in literature, a scholar use a delta t for the representation of impulse signal. Okay. So if nothing is given, delta t is given by default, you can consider it as an impulse type of disturbance or signal. So this delta t is defined as infinity at t is equal to 0 and 0 when t naught is equal to 0. See this particular case. It is infinity, arrow sign is there. Its magnitude is infinity at t is equal to 0. And if t is not equal to 0 at all other points, the value of this particular disturbance is 0. Okay? And if you take the Laplace transform of this particular disturbance, you will get just 1. Okay? Now, coming to the second type of disturbance. Second type of disturbance, I am going to take a step. Here it is represented by ft is equal to a multiplied by ut. UT is a general standard notation for unit step, and I have multiplied with a magnitude A. Okay, so I am going to define it. It will be equal to A if t greater than equal to 0, and it will be equal to 0 if t less than 0. Correct? And it will take the Laplace transform of this particular type of disturbance, that is step disturbance, step type of disturbance, you will get 1 upon s. Okay? That is the value of fs. Right? Now, coming towards the third type of disturbance, means that is of constantly varying, constantly increasing type of disturbance, that is your ramp. Here we are going to represent as a Ft is equal to ART. RT we have reserved it for input, but in literature they also represent ramp type of disturbance or ramp type of signal with RT. Okay. So A multiplied by RT, what we are going to say? We are going to define it in a time domain. We will say that it will be equal to A multiplied by T when T greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 when T less than 0. And if you take the Laplace transform of this particular disturbance, you will get Laplace transform will be 1 upon s square. Right? Now coming to the parabolic type of disturbance, means the case where your disturbance signal is drifting with a high speed, or you can say drifting very fast with respect to time. That is your parabolic. Here we are going to define Ft as A by 2 t square. Correct? Or you can say directly, it will be A by 2 t square when t greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 when t less than 0. What will be the Laplace transform? Here we have actually taken one, it should be A, because we have already taken A as a magnitude, so it should be A upon s square. So here if you will take the Laplace transform, you will get A upon s. Correct? I hope you might remember Laplace transform of t to the power n. T to the power Laplace transform of t to the power n is factorial n divided by s to the power n plus. So correct? So for the unit where A is the amplitude, means A should be any positive value. Okay. So A is amplitude. Amplitude of the, or you can say the step of A magnitude. If it is value of A is 10 or 5, you will say the step of magnitude 10. Okay. For the case of unit step or unit ramp or unit parabola, you will prove the value of A is equal to 1. Right? And I have already said more than means greater than this parabolic drifting is also possible, but we are not going to analyze those drifting because only these driftings or first type of disturbances are enough to analyze the behavior of your system. And if your system works satisfactorily with such type of disturbance signal, your system is going to act satisfactorily with any other type of disturbances. It has been found experimentally. Correct? Now coming to the second input. Second input was your reference input, or you can say your manipulated input. Okay. This is in most of the cases may be known to you. For example, you have performed an experiment of the PID controller, or you can say this. We are going to perform an experiment where we are going to control the temperature of this particular classroom. So in this particular case, the set point is known to you because you are going to set the value of the set point, somewhat like 35 dB or 30 dB. But note that there may be another cases also, somewhat like consider the radar tracking problem, where the set point is the target plane position, and target plane position you can say the enemy plane, and which is not under control. So please note that, not under your control. So please note that in many cases you may come with the situation where even a reference or set point may not be in our control or may not be known to you. So your aim is to design a control system which is going to perform satisfactorily with such type of unknown cases. Means disturbance is already unknown to you and even your reference signal is unknown to you. In that environment your system should work satisfactorily. So the design strategy is that you have to design your system in most strenuous environment, so that if you are going to keep your system under the most strenuous situation, it will be able to perform well for any type of unknown signal. Okay, so it has also find that this impulse, step and ramp and parabola type of input puts system under a strain, and if a system is going to behave satisfactorily with these four inputs, this system will, such type of system will act satisfactorily with any type of control system. That's why these signals, these four signals are known as a standard test signal. Okay, so what we are reading is come under the topic a standard test signal. Correct? And since it may be not always the case that your input will comprise of these only or the combination of these, so we are going to say these are the test signal because they are generally used for the test purpose, testing purpose. So in our analysis we are going to include these test signal also to get the complete behavior of the system. That's why we read the standard test signal, and that's why these signals are known as standard signal. Okay, correct? So for control system, you are not going to deal with the stochastic model of design and analysis. Okay.